Hello, Rajma.
Yes, sir. Good evening,
Hello,
sir.
hello.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Sir,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Few seconds, sir. 1 minute, 1 minute.
அப்போ நீங்க சொன்ன பிறகு ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாம் இல்லையா?
Yes, sir. 1 minute, sir.
பொறுமையா நான் ரவுண்ட் சுத்திட்டு வந்துடுறேன்.
Good evening, madam. I'm Thermurugan.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good
I
evening,
can
sir.
start now.
அது ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாமா?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
சார் முகம்
Welcome, sir.
தெரியுது. குட் ஈவினிங் டு ஆல். அனைவருக்கும் இந்த மாலை
Good evening.
நேரத்தில் உங்கள் அனைவரும் வரவேற்பதில் மிகவும் மகிழ்ச்சி அடைகிறேன். நான் வீரராகவன், தமிழ்நாடு சேஃப்டி ப்ரொஃபஷனல் வெல்ஃபேர் அசோசியேஷன் பிரசிடென்ட்டா இருக்கேன். இன்றைய தினம் மிக ஒரு அற்புதமான ஒரு தருணம். வெரி ஸ்பெஷலைஸ்டு டே டுடே. பிகாஸ் ஃபார் த ரீசெண்டாக பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 3 to 4 monthsல பார்த்தீங்கன்னா லாட் ஆஃப் ஃபயர் இன்சிடென்ட்ஸ் ஆக்சிடென்ட்ஸ் ஹேப்பன். பார்த்தீங்கன்னா வி ஹவ் லாஸ்ட் மெனி லைஃப்ஸ் அண்ட் இட்ஸ் வெரி த்ரெட் டு அவர் ஹோல் நேஷன். இந்த நேரத்தில் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நம்ம தமிழ்நாடு சேஃப்டி ப்ரொஃபஷனல் அசோசியேஷன் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இது ஏன் நம்ம வந்து ஒரு விழிப்புணர்வு ஒய் வி ஹேவ் டு நாட் டு கிரியேட் அவேர்னஸ் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு திங்க் பண்றச்சே நமக்கு முதல்ல தோன்ற முகம் யாரா இருக்கும்? த கிரேட் நமச்சிவாயன் சார் தான். அவர் விட்டா இது யாரு இன்னும் சூப்பரா சொல்ல முடியும். சார் வெல்கம் சார். வெல்கம் ஃபார் திஸ் வெரி கிரேட் பிரசன்டேஷன்.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, how are you, sir?
Fine, sir. I'm fine. Very fine.
To all our members, my sincere request is it is going to be one of the very excellent presentation because நிலாவுக்கு வந்து நம்ம ஒன்றும் சொல்ல தேவையில்ல, சூரியனை பத்தி நம்ம ஒன்றும் சொல்ல முடியாது. ஏன்னா we know about it. அது போலதான் நான் நமச்சிவாயன் சாரை பத்தி சொல்றதுக்கு எனக்கு அந்த அளவுக்கு தகுதி இருக்கான்னு தெரியல. But few points I want to tell so that others should understand about sir. And you can, I assure you, you will learn a lot of things for this great, what is a fire, how to prevent, what all the systems are available. Everything will be there. Sir வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா is a retired district fire officer. நம்முடைய தமிழ்நாடு ஃபயர் ரெஸ்கியூ சர்வீஸில் ஒர்க் பண்ணுறாங்க சார். நிறைய விஷயங்கள் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. இப்போ நம்ம பண்ற சாதாரண விஷயம்லாம் அந்த வந்து ரொம்ப கடினமா இருக்க சூழ்நிலை சார் நிறைய புது இதெல்லாம் கொண்டு வந்திருக்காங்க. ஃபயர் சேஃப்டி சிஸ்டம் நிறைய இன்ட்ரோடியூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. மோர் தென் சார் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 40 years ஆஃப் சர்வீஸ் இந்த ஃபீல்டில் இருக்கு. நினைச்சு பாருங்க, நீங்க அட்டன் பண்ண நிறைய பேருடைய வயசு கூட அவ்வளோ இருக்காது. சச் அ லாட் ஆஃப் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் சார் இஸ் ஹேவிங். சார் வந்து நாக்பூர்ல டிப்ளமோ முடிச்சிருக்காங்க. சார் வந்து இஸ் MBA கிராஜுவேட் சார். அது சொல்லலாம், சொல்லிட்டே போகலாம். இஸ் மெம்பர் இன் தமிழ்நாடு சேஃப்டி ப்ரொஃபஷனல் அசோசியேஷன், சேஃப்டி இன்ஜினியர் அசோசியேஷன் அண்ட் ஃபயர் இன்ஸ்டியூட் இன் UK. நிறைய இடத்துல சார் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா மெம்பர்ஸாக இருக்காங்க. நிறைய பேருக்கு அவரால் வந்து நிறைய அவேர்னஸ் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. நிறைய செமினார், நிறைய பேப்பர் ப்ரெசன்டேஷனு. இது இந்த இடம் இல்லை அப்படின்னு இருக்கு எதுவுமே கிடையாது. ஃபயரில் வந்து சார் வந்து தொடாத இடமில்லை. சாருடைய திறமைக்கு வானமே எல்லை. ஐ திங்க் இன்னும் சொல்லிட்டே போலாம். ஏன்னா நான் வந்து அவருக்கு ஒரு சிஷ்யன். சொல்லிட்டே போலாம். பட் ஐ டோன்ட் வாண்ட் டேக் மச் டைம். ஸோ I once again welcome on behalf of Tamil Nadu Safety Professional Welfare Association the excellent presentation by Namachwayan sir, and welcome all participants. Please be available throughout the session. So we will learn a lot of things. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks for your kind words. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Please, Rajima.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks for the intro. Sir, please welcome, sir. Namachwayam, sir.
ஸ்க்ரீன் போடுங்கம்மா. இது போடுங்க, பட்டன் தட்டுங்க. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்லைட் போடுங்க.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So, good evening to all of you. I am Namasivayam, retired district fire officer, and I should thank Mr. Veera Raghavan for pressurizing me to give more, and so he has given a lot of positive words. But anyway, I try to do my best to
sir.
all of you. Sir, கிடைக்குதா? நான் பேசுறது கிடைக்குதா உங்களுக்கு?
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
Yes, sir. Shall
No,
I
sir.
continue?
Continue, sir, please.
Okay. So the today's topic is the fire safety management, in which the fire prevention, reduction, protection system, key factors to monitors. The context of this subject and discussion is, as Mr. Veeraraghavan sir said, very well said. And today is lot of fire incidents, accidents happening, and we fail to prevent fire deaths, and lot of incidents, industrial side and house side, commercial side. So many things are going, but we are not bothered about that. We means not only you or me, but the government and the authorities, concerned authorities. Nobody is learning from these incidents, taking care of incidents. Nobody is come forward to prevent such incidents. So such a way these things are going on. So I should have this opportunity to interact with you, whatever that I have, whatever that I want to share with you. Next slide, please. கொஞ்சம் ப்ரெஸ் பண்ணுங்க, இன்னும் 2 ப்ரெஸ் பண்ணுங்க. Okay. So this is my time to thank the Welfare Association, Tamil Nadu Safety Professional Welfare Association, and President Mr. Veeraraghavan sir, and others also, the team. So they are doing very wonderful work, and they are doing a lot of awareness programs and other safety programs. And they called me, Mr. Parni spoke to me, and so I accepted for his invitation. It is because of the mass benefits, and so I should thank this Safety Professional Welfare Association. And because why I should thank them, because see the what you see, the God is the God, we all pray God, that is different. But what I mean here is the Safety Professional Welfare Associations, they are generating opportunity for development. That is God generating opportunity for development. So if there's a management, there's a saying, if we fail to generate opportunity for development, we are generating opportunity for destruction. So that is the thing. So it's a consistently we have to look forward, put forward, and work forward to create opportunity for development, especially focusing the fire safety, life safety. So that is the opportunity. So I thank them, all the entire team of Safety Professional for Association in this regard. And above all, I should thank all the participants. So I should thank you and respect you, because you are hearing me. And so I will go to the next slide. Next slide, please. Yeah. So fire prevention, what is it important? Why it is important? Because you just see the facts. Yeah, just press pannuங்க, press பண்ணுங்க. So every second, every 24 seconds, there's a fire happens. And 13.7 billion loss from structures, insurance compensation, and opportunity loss. Opportunity loss means, suppose the lost amount can be put into other way that can create more profit also. That is opportunity loss. So, and 340 billion loss from wildfires. The lot of wildfires, including Tamil Nadu, including India, and other than environment and natural losses. You know very well about the environment loss due to fire and natural resources that cannot be recouped immediately. And 1.1 fire calls per 1,000 population. This is a statistics, global statistics. 1.1 fire call per 1,000 population. So imagine how many fire calls should come to India. So 8.3 death per million population. So this is the statistics. It is a 5 years old statistics. 5 pillars. The approach, the global approach is 5 pillars approach. That is, people should be aware. People should be capable of preventing fire, capable of fighting fire, so capable of protecting their premises and
டைம்ல
their
இவனுக்கு வந்து
products.
இவனோட வித்தியாசமான முகத்தை பார்க்கலாம்.
Hello. Somebody is talking. Okay, people and products. So the people should be well prepared, and the products that we use in the building construction or in the manufacturing process, mostly that must be non-combustible like that. So that focus must be there. That is the global approach I am telling. And structure, fire resistance structure should be there, and infrastructure, enough infrastructure not only to produce manufacture products but also to prevent fires, protect fires, fight fires, and communities. So in case of industries, on-site evacuation, off-site evacuation will be there. So community should also be prepared very well so that more loss can be prevented. So that is the important aspects of this fire prevention. Yes, next please. So industrial fire incidents in India, you just see this. No, go back please. Yeah. So here you just see like 136 calls, incidents, and how many deaths you see. And see the competition between that incidents and the killing. So such a huge loss happened. Now I don't, this is all up to which year? You just 2017. And now current, no, I have no idea on this. So it's already prepared. So I'm showing it want of time. So see that the death rate, incidence rate and death rates are equally going. That means what? We are failed in fire prevention, fire protection, and fire reaction also. So that's the thing. Next slide, please. Yeah. So why these fire incidents are so increasing? Though we don't bother about much on this, but the incidents are increasing because the changes that happened in our modern way of living. The changes in terms of construction materials, the changes in terms of material that we use in our day-to-day daily life, the materials process that we do in industries, all highly combustible and flammable and highly risk-faced. And so the challenges comes that high risk, high challenges to the fire safety, high challenges to the fire protection things. So changes beckets challenges. So accordingly, we must prepare on our fire prevention, protection, and reaction basis, but that we see how we are going to do and how we are doing it. Next, please. So you just see here, you can see a video here, the comparison of room furnishings. Legacy room means it is more than 50, 40 years old room. Yeah, click in the bottom. Click. It's not open. Madam, click. Yes. Right. Okay. So you can see the legacy room and the modern room consists of all plastic, synthetic material, modern things that we use in our day-to-day use, from home to industries, home to malls. So that's the thing. So here the legacy room means old room. There we use normal fire, normal cloth, not a synthetic cloth like that. And you see, click பண்ணுமா சார்? yeah. இல்ல click பண்ணுங்க. Yes. Wait. Yes. Wait. Oh, so you can see here the modern room, the fire begins immediately. No. Madam, you just click and take away the cursor away. Yes. Cursor take away. Yeah. Now you can see the modern room, the fire is spreading like anything, very fast. And you could see it's a matter of time, the entire room will be flamed. That is called a flashover stage. Flashover means a fire begins at a room and it spreads to the entire room. At a certain point of time, the entire room will be flame, not even a smoke will be there. So you see dark smokes are coming out, and the white flame you could see, orange flame you could see, and the yellow flame you could see. All that gives different ranges of temperature in the room. White is highest temperature, next to that yellow, and next to that orange, and next to that black smoke. That is highly temperature one. So you could see now the entire room becomes the flame. This is called flash over. Just like when you flash the camera, that entire room will be lighted. Like that, the flame is lighted now. The flame is filled up the entire room. This is called flash over stage. The modern room just took it's a 340 minutes, 340 time, 340 minutes. The total room is completely flamed. But in the legacy room, you just see it is still it is taking almost 29 minutes. So then only it completes the entire room will by with the flame. So what you have to understand from this, the modern rooms are very, very fire risk is more. So we have to make our fire prevention systems, fire protection systems, and the selection of fire materials, fire flammable materials, combustible materials, such so that we can have fire retardant things, so like that. So modern rooms are very, very prone to fire spread, and we have to understand it's not like a legacy room. So if any fire happens in any building, it is a matter of 5 minutes to complete the fire spread. So you cannot wait for any public fire services. They take normally 10 to 15 seconds, 15 minutes will be there. Depends upon the traffic, depends upon the density. So they may take some time if the vehicle is available at the original station. If the vehicle went to for other fire calls, then it's another station, it will come. So it will take a lot of time. So we have to understand the way in which we live nowadays, whether it is our home or it is our industry or it is any mall. If fire happens, then that will spread like anything. Unless the fire is interrupted, fire is extinguished at the beginning itself, the fire is contained there itself by passive fire safety system like barrier, fire safety, fire wall, or a fire door, something like that. So that is the importance that I want to highlight in this video. And so next please. Yes. So how the industrial fire differs from other fires? So fire behavior is globally remains same, whether it is India or America or Australia, Africa, whichever the country may be, the fire behaves in the same manner. The conditions of fire remain same, and the heat and the smoke and the toxic gases and the impact of the fire remains same. But where we differ is how we respond to the fire, how we are prepared, what is our level of awareness. So these things differs locally and nationally. So that is the problem of fire safety. And so, what is the difference between the domestic, electrical, industrial fires? The difference of the industrial fire depends upon the back factors below mentioned, the type of fuel. So, the A class, B class, C class, D class, you know. Now there are other two classes came. You might aware of this, F class and the L class. F class means kitchen fire. L class means lithium battery fires. So, okay, so the two different classes are now added. The old classification is A, B, C, D. D may not be there in the homes, but industrial side it may be there. Industrial side, the cause of fire will be different. And the nature of process, the fire spread process, heat, calorific value of heat per square meter comes out, smoke comes out, toxic gas comes out. So this is all high in case of industrial building, and the people laws, property laws, and environment laws, and the fire spreading factor are all too high in case of industrial building. That is why industrial fires known as disasters like anything. Next, please. Next. Yeah. So the industrial side, the sources are you know very well. I don't want to explain all these things because you are all from industrial side. So these are all the just I will pass on this. And so these are all the factors that signifies the speciality or significance of the industrial fires. These things will not be available in the house and other places. Next, please. Click here. So it is a matter of 3 minutes to 4 minutes. Entire tank burnt, and so it has just like an flame explosion. This is called a flame explosion came out, and so just you could witness. So how much we are prepared in preventing the fire in the industries. It is not fighting the fire is important, but preventing the fire is important, and fighting the fire is no other chance. That is the last option for you. So that's the prevention is much more important in case of fire, industrial fire. And not only industrial fire, nowadays the home is also more hazardous. So everywhere the fire prevention given much important, and so we must take care how we have to prevent a fire. We must learn how to prevent a fire. Yeah, next please. So now I'm coming to discuss with you the fire prevention. All of you know what is fire prevention. So I'm not going to explain this triangle or tetrahedron of fire, but in simple definition, can you define what is fire prevention? So since it is not the direct form, so I cannot ask you questions. I cannot wait for your answer. So I will ask the question and answer the question. So if it is a direct platform, I can see your face. I can know whether you are able to understand how you are reacting. That I can understand. Here I can see only screen only. So the prevention is nothing but here you just see the four colors. In industrial side, you just understand oxygen, heat, and fuel, and combustion tetrahedron. That is a chain reaction. Combustion tetrahedron means it's a chain reaction which speed up the fire reaction. That is it creates more elements of free radicals, so that fire will flame will spread fast like that. So that is the chain reaction. So here in an industrial side, you just imagine, can you remove oxygen? You cannot remove it. Can you remove chain reaction? Only after having the fire only you can remove the chain reaction by applying suitable chemical items. So what you can do, when fire happens, you cannot remove heat also completely, because you have to attack the base of the fire with a correct cooling or extinguishing medium. Then only you can kill the fire. After killing the fire or reducing the flame size only, you can reduce the heat. So yeah, suddenly you cannot reduce the heat also. So here among the four options, oxygen removal, that is not immediately possible, and after the before the fire, and fuel also you cannot remove. If you remove fuel, then even the training cannot happen. So combustible items are with us. We cannot have a fire life without a fire risk or without a fire hazards. Combustible items, we should have it, but we should live in a protected way. That is the thing. So the fire prevention starts with two factors, that is separating the fuel with the heat. That is the only thing you can do. Whichever the ignition sources available at your home, at your office, at your institution, at your industries, identify the heat sources, identify the spark sources, identify the ignition sources, and remove from the source away from the fuel. So that is the thing, that is a fire prevention. So separating the fuel in connection with or in proximity with, in closeness with the heat or spark, then that is called a fire prevention in a simple way. That is a thing that you can do generally. So the fire prevention starts with identification of combustible items, flammable items, and gaseous items. And you can, where the such items are there, just you have to identify what are the spark, what are the heat creating sources are there. Then you have to list it out, and you have to eliminate those factors. Or if you cannot eliminate, then you have to put barrier in between them. So this is the method of a fire prevention in general. It may differ specific case to case. That is it. But for a better understanding, general understanding, I'm telling this. So fire prevention starts with separating the fuel with the ignition sources, heat sources, so that there will be no fire at all. If fire happen, then you can attack the any four angle. You can reduce the heat, you can remove the fuel, you can disconnect the chain reaction, or you can reduce the oxygen level also. By way, you can extinguish the fire. But before the fire, preventing could happen in most of the cases only by removing the fuel in connection with the source. Next, please. So these are all the ignition sources may be available in your industries. Some may be not be available. Some may be available in some other sources also may be there. Just I'm listing out. It is not an exhaustive list. It is a general list. So open flame. So these are all. I don't want to explain all these things. You know all these things. So just I can pass on the next slide. Next slide, please. So it is an important slide. Just I want to highlight with you because you should understand it in a proper way so that you can understand the threat of fire to life. So here there are 4 stages are there. It's called fire cycles. Incipient stage, that is the beginning. So when you start a paper by igniting with the matchsticks, the paper starts ignited. That is when the matchsticks spreads its heat from its flame, the flame spreads on the surface of the paper. The paper gets heated. When the heat reaches the flashpoint level, then the evaporation comes, the vapor comes. That vapor mixes with the oxygen, that both are heated to the fire temperature. Then the fire starts with the flame of the matchsticks. So this is the introduction or the incipient stage of the fire. So once paper gets started, it started its own burning. That will not depend upon the matchsticks. So then that stage is called the growth stage. So what is growth stage? Growth stage, the fire already happened. The fire spreads based on its fuel capacity, fuel quality, and the heat coming out capacity, and the surface spread or vertical spread all depends upon the flame speed. Flame speed will differs accordingly. So that is a growth stage. Then the growth stage reaches the third stage, that is called the fully developed stage, where we saw the video, there the fully developed, that is called a flashover. So when a fire started at a room or at a company, when the fire is not interrupted, when that is the fire is not extinguished at the incipient stage itself, the beginning itself, then the fire started growing itself, then towards the unburned fuel. So the flame reaches the unburned fuel surface area, heated the surface area again, then that reaches the fire point, then that will catch again, then the flame size will be increasing like anything. So that is called a flash over stage. So the entire fuel available in a building that started burning at the same time, that is called a flash over stage. That stage is highly, highly dangerous. No one can rescue, no one can fight the fire. The fire has to finish itself. So that is a flash over stage. Even the building collapse may happen there. So that is a fully developed fire. That is called a flash over stage. And when the fire is burnt out on its own, there is no fuel, then the fire will become extinguished. Fire will become decay. Decay means it is reduced to a normal level. So there are 3 things: either no fuel, there will be no fire. If the building in a building fire happens, if there is no sufficient amount of oxygen, then the fire will come into a decay stage. Even the unburnt fuel is there. Even that burnt in ignition temperature level, that fire will not happen because of lack of oxygen in the room, because the room is enclosed, contained, the fresh oxygen will not enter into the room. So that is a stage. So either fuel must be available or oxygen must be available, and temperature should also remain available. Suppose a building fire happens, the entire flame, the 60% of the flame went away by ventilation system, and the fuel is there, then there will be no fire continued at all. So the fire fully developed stage will reach only when fuel must be fully available, temperature should be available, and enough oxygen must be available. Then only the fire will reach to the complete flashover stage. So this is the fire cycle. Okay. Now, this is not the information that I want to pass on you. The message that I want to pass on you is the fire safety management begins with the fire prevention, process with the fire protection, and ends with the fire extinction. This is the 3 important criteria or specific strategies by which fire safety management can be managed. So the incipient stage, fire prevention side. So fire prevention, if we fail to prevent the fire, then the fire will happen. So incipient stage gives the clear message that there is a failure of fire prevention. That's the first thing. Okay. The second stage, fire happened at your industry or any place. Suppose that fire is not interrupted by automatic fire reduction system or and interruption system, or manually that is not interrupted by using your hose reel or hydrant system, or the automatic sprinklers cannot extinguish the fire, then that fire will grow to its fully developed stage. So growth stage reaches the fully developed stage. That means your fire protection system also fails. There are two failure stages. One is fire prevention stage failed, and the fire growth, fire protection system also failed. Then it reaches the fully developed stage. Okay, so previous video we have seen within the 4 minutes the fire will spread like anything. Now we have seen the four phases of fire cycles. So what you have to understand from this slide, what is the message that you should gain, and that message you should understand, the message you should apply at your industry level, at your even home level. I should say the safety should start at home. Okay, it means that the safety precautions, safety awareness, the strategies for establishing safety should first come to your mind, and then you should come to your word, then you should pass on to your deeds. Then only the fire management can be done. So the stage we have to understand that when fire happens, we cannot prevent the fire 100%. There cannot be absolute fire safety available. Anyhow, whatever the precautions measured, everything, fire may happen. That is the thing, because human error is there, mechanical error is there, and there are so many reasons will be there. So fire is likely to happen. We have to understand it, we have to accept it, but we try to prevent 100% of the fire incidents. That is incipient. That is a fire prevention. The growth stage, that is the most important stage. You must be equipped very well, that your industry should understand your risk factors, fire hazard factors, quantification of fires, assessment of risk factors. Accordingly, you have to establish fire prevention system, fire protection system like suitable detector system and suitable suppression systems, and not only establishment of systems that will work out, and you have to maintain it, and you have to keep people to operate it in case of emergency. They must be trained very well. Those things must be there. Otherwise, the growth will not be stopped. That will reach the fully developed stage. So that is a message that I want to pass on to you in this slide. Next slide, please. Yeah. See, modern hazards, so backdraft and flashover, these are all is a very coercive and a serious phenomena. You just see the film that fireman is opening the door. What happened to him? You just see, because the flashover stage is already there in the building. When he opens the door, enough oxygen is going in, then that backdraft, that is a flashover, reverse of the flashover, that is called backdraft. That happened there. You just see watch the film. This is the fire threat, the modern threat available for the firefighters, not only for the firefighters, but also for the occupants. Hello? Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir?
Do you have any questions so far? I think some problem in the screening. I don't know what happened. Meantime, you can ask any questions. So far, done.
No question, sir. Okay, sir.
Rajalakshmi?
Sir, now the screen is visible, sir.
Yeah, right. Now it's okay. Fine. Thank you. So the fire prevention. So you might be aware of all these steps in your industries. If nowadays, many industries they are doing a lot of system fire prevention protection system, and the work permit and incident reporting system. Work permit there is a different, and incident reporting is also different. The both are not same. So work permit should be given. I don't want to explain all these things because you are from industrial background. Uh, so I don't want to explain all these steps. You know very well about this standard operating procedure and engineering guidelines and toolbox stock and periodical care and maintenance, good housekeeping and periodical disposal system, safety walk, and compliance to safety standards, and audits. Three types, internal audit and second party audit and third party audit. So the three types of audits are there. And I don't know what is the frequency of audit that you conduct, but at least you should once in a year you should conduct the audit. At least once in 2 years you should conduct third party audit. At least once in a year you should conduct second party audit. Once in 6 months you should conduct first party audit, that is conduct within the organization, the inspector, or you can nominate somebody that can do the audit. Next. Yeah, housekeeping as a fire prevention, there is an important subject that is missing in many of the places. I see. I have audited many industries, big industries and medium level industries and small scale industries, and wherever we go, housekeeping is a permanent problem, because that's today morning only we keep these things that will be removed by evening. So that's I used to hear such things, but from morning to evening there is no guarantee that fire will not happen. So that is a problem. So see, maybe that will be there, but even then, at least a day end that should be removed. And so say at least if it cannot be removed, then there should be a strong monitoring system should be there, strong protection prevention system should be there. So if something combustible items cannot be removed immediately, and practically speaking, every day you cannot remove everything that is there. But even then you could understand. You should see how the fire can happen that place. So if there is no ignition sources, then your off risk is over. 50% of the risk is over. If the ignition sources are there, then how we have to control this? How we have to barricade this? Such a way you have to ensure fire safety there, so that fire prevention can be there. If you cannot do the housekeeping daily basis or weekly basis, just I can't see the screen, madam. Yeah. So, and is the first thing, remove away combustible waste and space a place for everything. That you know very well. The 5 years system you might be adopting, and though you have to do that, and you have to keep that thing place in its own place. And spill kit and cleaning system, and I have seen in many industries, but somebody do not know how to operate it. Somebody even that is not working. Such things are there. Systems are there, but systems is not functional like that. Keep exits unobstructed, much more important, unblocked, and darkness should not be there. Like that must be lighted with emergency supply system. It's not a normal lighting system, it's emergency lighting system should be there. And daily frequency of cleaning, daily, weekly, monthly. It is not there is no mandatory requirement. It is your personal requirement. It is your hygiene, personal hygiene, personal protection requirement. Then you have to design your own frequency level based on other conditions. So that's the thing I want to highlight here. And audit must be conducted. Review that audit report should be reviewed, and if that is not compliant, then escalation system should be there. Then only these things will go in a smooth manner or in a safety manner. Next slide, please. So I would like to ask you, is a short circuit a cause or a fire? Many places, in even the medias, they claim that all fires, most of the fires now, to the range of 50 to 75%, all fires due to short circuit. That media flashes like this. But it is not true, actually. And nobody is trying to investigate that it is really due to short circuit or really due to other places, other causes. So that is just we ascribe that short circuit is a culprit. So we just simply say and we pass on the incidents. That is the way. In fact, really, I want to share with you, short circuit is not a cause at all. Short circuit is a result. That is the effect of some other causes. That the causes are given below. Unprofessional installation. See, the system is designed unprofessionally, not suitable to the load requirement. So undersized cable or oversized cable and improper or third rated qualities of substances or equipments. So that is unprofessional installation and the loose electrical connections, damaged insulations, and overloading and surge current. Overloading means getting more current from a single socket, a single wire that becomes heated. When electrical normally, even a normal current passing, the heat will be generated. When the over current passes, then heat will be more. When the current is passing on 24 hours, then 24 hours the insulation will be heated. When the insulation is heated, the rate of heating is increased and in square with the timing, then the insulation quality will be deteriorated. Then that is destruction or that its original quality will be lost. So that is the overloading effect. And surge current means sudden current comes from lightning or some other sources, then that also causes insulation damage or insulation damage, then that will cause for short circuit, resulting a short circuit. And provisions for proper earthing system, that is not there. And the earthing system is nowadays changed in the modern way, and I am not an expert in this idea, so I cannot explain much more in this. And provisions for electrical safety devices, devices physically functionally tested, and the same devices and the same should be documented. We have a MCB, we have a ELCB, all the devices you may have, but that must be practically functionally tested periodically. The testing must be witnessed by your person. It is not a third party is testing and they are given report. That's not like that. A third party tested, you should witness it. At least 2% should witness it, the testing, especially the electrical safety devices. And that testing should be recorded. If anything happened, all whether it's a positive point or negative point, that must be recorded, that must be complied. That is a documentation. And then preventive actions, electrical installations, the prone to have heating if the system is not properly designed or overloaded or some other factors. So the thermal heating, when it goes beyond the level, then that affects the quality of the installation, quality of the switches, quality of the other connecting devices. So the thermal scanning should be there. So if the thermal scanning reaches a particular level, then that is point that you have to address for correction so that the heat can reduce. So such a way the thermal scanning and periodical inspection and proper maintenance. So those must be there so that you can prevent electrical fire prevention. Normally, electrical installation is quite dangerous. Unfortunately, in India, in Tamil Nadu, electrical installation is not properly verified, properly wired and installed. Many of the cases are their own way they are doing it, and after the installation they get more number of electrical and electronic equipments, so naturally they become overloaded, and so the tripping will be there, fuses, and that will trip, so automatically they will put more size wire or the tripping can be switched off like that, so the electrical fire will rightly to happen. So these are all the things that we must understand in practice. So we have to check whether our electrical system exists today is capable to supply sufficiently without affecting its normal health. So this is the way you have to check, and so you have to, for this purpose, you have to employ a professional auditor or expert in this case. Then you have to check your electrical system at least once in a year. That's fine. Next, please. You just see here, just for your understanding, I'm giving this. This is not directly connected to the subject. Even there, for a better understanding, I'm giving this slide. So you just see here, the short circuit. This is the picture for short circuit. If you see wire like this is happened to the electrical heat is there and the insulation is burnt there, then the wires are contracted, then becomes a long circuit, becomes the short circuit. This is a short circuit example for that. Here the bottom one is the loose switches and there some heat is produced so that other things are started burning, combustible items started burning, the plastic, and even switch itself can burn sometimes like that. So this is the example for short circuit. You go to the next slide. Here see, the core wire is there, the plastics are burnt, Externally, the plastics are burnt, not internally heat is produced. Externally, heat is affected the cable insulation got burnt. So this is not caused by the electric. This is the short circuit may caused by the fire, not the short circuit caused the fire here. We have to understand the difference between fire caused by short circuit caused by fire, like that. Next, please. So in the prevention side, this is another important thing that I want to. You are all expert safety officers. I believe you are all safety officers. I don't know. First, I don't. There is no briefing given on this. What type of people are here? What level of your experience? So accordingly, I can plan my class. But now I have passed 40% of the class, so I will go on my own way. Safe storage of flammable materials. So monitoring factors, proper labeling is all you know, proper storage arrangements, it's a physical storage arrangements with a proper stability and weight carrying capacity and the segregation. So these are all the proper storage arrangements. And the spill containment, absorb in case of spilling is there, then what is the absorption method you have, or draining method system. Even if a flammable liquid is leaking out, that should not spread to the floor, that should go to the safest dig point, so that can be contained there, like that. And safe temperature and pressure monitoring system should be there in case of industries. And any question, or I can continue?
Sorry, sir, muted, sir.
Okay. So the safe temperature and pressure monitoring system should be there. Nowadays, the AI and IoT systems are there, so that the deviations from the normalcy can be identified very easily, and so that alert predictive mechanism in force than the preventive mechanisms. So we have to go for the predictive mechanism, then we come for the preventive mechanism. So these systems are there already there. Safe temperature and pressure monitoring systems. So we should use.
Sorry, sir,
So
continue, please.
okay. So then the next is quantity limits procedure. So how much flammable liquids can be stored at a place? If you go on keeping a huge amount of thing like a big tank, then in the industry, then that cannot be fight by any sprinkler or any spray system. So the sprinklers are designed based on the available fire load. When you increase the fire load, the sprinkler will not work. Please mind it. So the fire load and the sprinkler capacity is connected with each other. Accordingly, only you have to keep your storage level. Storage here, quantity means it's a fire load quantity. How much quantity you will keep, how much energy, and the heat energy that will create per square meter, per second or per minute, then that directly affects or relates to the sprinkler system or even spray system or even a fighting system. So accordingly, you have to limit the quantity. That's the thing. Quantity limits procedure. At a separate combustible items from flammable items. Flammable items from oxidizers. So and oxidizers from the cryogenic items. So these are the things that you must understand, because everything has its own risk factors, and its flame spread varies, and calorific heat will vary. So accordingly, you have to segregate those items. Very, very important. If we fail, there is a failure of prevention. So that's the thing. And comply electrical and fire safety requirements. Very, very important. Even unfortunately, in most of the hospitals, in the ICUs, they should have a standby power supply system. And that is not that. That is why many people, many fires happens. Many people died because of in supply of non-supply of oxygen and non-supply of breathing oxygen. Those things are there. That is a very important. That is the industry side. So you have to understand this. So the electrical safety and the fire safety requirements must be met, complied with. Complied with means compliance is a minimum requirement. Excellence is a maximum requirement. So I said, when I say compliance, you can exceed towards the excellence side. So that's my humble request to you. And the provision for suitable fire barriers. So if suppose you have to keep certain quantity that is required there, then you cannot separate there the flammable with the oxidizer or something like that. Then you try to provide suitable barrier system if it is applicable, so that unnecessary fire can be prevented. And ensure inspection, monitoring, and audit system. Inspection is different from monitoring. Monitoring different from auditing system. Inspection should be done by the person who does the process operations. So he should know how to work it, how to do it, how should not do it. That is inspection. And his supervisor also monitor the inspection whether he is doing the right thing. That is monitoring. But audit is a third person audit, as the person who does not connected with this monitoring and the inspection, and who should do the audit, whether it's a second party audit or third party audit, that differs to company to company. Next, please. Yeah. Now coming to this, prevention part is over, and now I'm coming to the fire reduction and suppression system part. See here, FDA, fire detection and alarm. That is meaning fire detection and alarm consists of detectors, alarm system. Alarm means both visual and audio. Why I am telling visual means if a generator is there, that will create more noise, or some other area there have more noise that you cannot even hear your mobile, or you cannot hear your fire alarm sound. Then you should have a visual system, so that if somebody is suppose the one person cannot hear, is a deaf, then in that case there must be a visual system must be there. So both visual and audio system should be there, and that is the alarm system. And MCP, manual call point, and talkback system. This is the talkback means MCP means manual call point. If there is a fire in one corner, then that fellow will open the break the glass or pull the pin, then that will connect to the your center, emergency response center. Then it indicates there is a fire like that. You can understand where it happens, but you cannot talk to him. But in talkback system, you can talk to him. You can talk back. That is why it's called a talkback system. The person from the basement who calls you, you can respond to the person. The person can tell this is a basement, the fire is there. You can ask him what fire, which size it is, where it is located. Like that, you can ask, you can interact. That is the purpose of the talkback system. And another important item that I want to here mention, two important items. So as per National Building Code of India, and as well as now, so for your information, I am telling there is no National Board Code of India now. Not last edition of 2016 of National Building Code, especially Part 4, is removed, suspended. It is dismissed. That is not existent now. For your information, if those who are not aware must be aware of it. Now there was a general standard, NBCS, National Building Construction Standard, is introduced in 2016. Now that is the available for national wide. So so as per NBC, previous NBC and current NBCS, FDA means these items must be there. What are the items? Detectors, that is sensors, whether it's a heat sensor or smoke sensor or flame sensor, whatever the sensor, you call it as a heat detector or smoke detector, like that. And alarm system, and alarm both issue, especially for industries that involves visual and audio, wherever it is applicable, and the MCP and talkback systems with the circuit integrity. So what is circuit integrity? Circuit integrity is electrically supervised system. That is, so that you have a 300 detectors, 50 speakers or 100 speakers, and you have a wiring of a long mile like that, and there are so many connections. So anywhere any problem is there, that circuit integrity self-supervised, and that will communicate to the panel. That is called the circuit integrity. So that must be available as per the standard, as well as for the NFP also. And the fire survival cable, especially for detectors and alarm system, you should provide survival cable, and that will not affect immediately by the fire. That is a fire survival cable, fire rated cable. And so these things are component of the FDA. But please mind that if there is no talkback system, you are not compliant. If there is no circuit system, you are not compliant. If your cables are not fire survival cable, no, you are keeping a fire detection only for formality. That will not work for reality. So that's the thing I want to convey with you. and special fire protection and detection systems and for industries. So now NBCS 2026 has given elaborate discussion and tables, table number 7, table number 11, and appendix 1 to 4 to annexer N of NBCS. Excellent document that gives you different types of industries, low industries, moderate advanced industries, highest order industries, and with the different sizes of floor area, different types of process for all these things, including the UPS system and lithium battery systems and other, whatever the recent modern threats, modern hazards are there, all are identified almost, and they have given a specific types of detectors required, specific types of suppressor system required. Clear-cut table is given. You please refer this. The NBCS document is downloadable, free. It is not any, no cost is there. It is free of cost. You can download it. Or if you require it, I can also pass over this on WhatsApp or to your Viraragon. I can pass it and you can get from you. And so this is the NBCS. Please refer. Please go through this and see, instead of me going through this, if you go through this, because you are real industrial people, you know very well about this, so you can have a say on this. Sir, it is right, it is wrong, it is inadequate, or some gaps are there. You are the specialist people, you are the expert people, you can say on this. So please go through these tables 10, 11, and 1 to 4 appendix, and then we can discuss on this. And detectors for smoke, spark, flame. So these are all the different types of detectors they have given on this. That's why I'm giving for a glimpse of this. And the suppress system, water spray, water risers, modular panel, rack, auto detection, suppression, tubing system, and so all these things given. See, just I don't want to read all these things. Everything. So all these things are specifically given for specific risk factors. NBCS 2026 given on risk-based system. It is neither the prescriptive method nor the fully performance method. It is a hybrid system. They are balancing the prescriptive as well as a performance-based approach so that you can get a full amount of safety based on your engineering applications and better understanding of risk factors. That is the intent of the NBCS 2026. Next, please. So, fire safety systems. You have provided a world-class fire safety system, and say this is the sprinkler not available in India, that is available in abroad only. So you put anything that is a world-class type, but that will not work itself unless it is properly maintained, it is properly monitored, it is properly installed, so it is properly used. These four things are much more important. Professional way, what sprinkler type required, what type of detector required, should be the spacing, what should be the sprinkler velocity, what should be the K factor, what should be the maximum minimum pressure, what should be the hydraulic pressure. All these things must be professionally decided. Then that must be specified. And then that specification must be understood by the installer. They should do it professionally, professional installation. Then the professional maintenance should come by the user, and the professional way that must be used in case of emergency. Whether if it is a manual system, it is an automatic system that will function. That's a different case. So yeah, right. Now screen is visible. So so the point is, the firefighting system is provided at your premises. Okay, fine, that's good. But what is required is reliability of your systems. How reliable? Whether it is a fire extinguisher or a sprinkler system, a riser system, or whatever it may be, how reliable it is, whether it can function in case of emergency. I will tell you one thing: when an extinguisher cannot function in case of normal time, that will not function in the emergency time. So normal time, you have to test it. You have to ensure that systems are working properly. So normal time, we should test it. You should monitor it. You should see it visually. So that is reliability. And suitability. According to the risk, you have to select the extinguishing medium. That is suitability. Don't put a electrical item, the foam or water type like that. So that is not suitable to that. So approachability. So extinguisher are there and hydrants are there, but parked by a storage system or parked by car, something blocked by car, something like that, then that is a very funny. And so that is approachability. And ability here indicates the ability of your pupil, trained pupil. In case of emergency, how fast, how swift he can take the extinguisher, how smart he can use the extinguisher, what is the distance he keeps between the base of the fire to the nozzle of the fire extinguisher. So whether he sees the direction of the wind, or in case of closed room, whether he witnessed the exit he has to go. So those things, so how smart he is, how skilled he is, that is important. That is the ability. Okay, the four criteria must be there, otherwise there is no fun, or there is no use in having the firefighting system in your premises. And only professional maintenance, professional way of maintenance. It is not a mere pasting sticker on the extinguishers. I have seen many places, while doing the audit, only stickering is not maintenance. So maintenance is different, and you should do maintenance. You should understand what are the checklists. So what are the requirements of a fire extinguisher? What is specified in the concerned IS? So what is the test system? What is the maintenance system mentioned in the IS? That is, whether it's a weekly or monthly or quarterly or half-yearly or annually. That you should list it out as per the IS requirement. Then you have to. Then that must become as a checklist. So the checklist must be prepared based on the IS system. So IS systems are given below for these. There are so many items for extinguishers. IS. There are so many other items for all these IS. I don't mention all these things. Why I mention these things? These are all related to the maintenance. That's why I'm giving all these things. So if you want to do proper professional maintenance, then you should refer this IS and prepare a list of checklists on your own. Then you get a permission or approval from your head. And so that, why the approval? Because the second person seeing it, he may see some other different thing. They may correct it or may add it, like that. That is the purpose of approval. Okay, it's not a mere administrative hierarchy approval. The approval is given only for scrutinizing what you proposed, whether it is quite right or not marginally normally right, like that. So that is the purpose of approval. But nobody understands approval means the higher authority giving approval, like that. These things are going. It's not like that. Okay, next slide, please. Key factors to ADA means automatic detection and alarm system. Okay, so the key factors to detector and alarm system. Obstruction to detector. Most of the buildings I see that orange cup or yellow cup will not be removed at all. Above that cover, the plastic cover will cover the detector, because that is installed the same status. Nobody is watching it, nobody is monitoring it, nobody is testing it. That is why that detector's cover was not removed. So many buildings I could see that that is a very pathetic condition. The detector system is there. So obstruction of detectors by removing the cover, and any projection may be there that will obstruct the flow of smoke, flow of heat. So that must be identified. The detector must face its area of face. The detector is looking the ground level, 9 square meter or 8 square meter, like that. The detector should face the ground level correctly, so that wherever the smoke or heat is produced, that will reach the detector. So the projection should not affect its area of its vision. And barriers. So sometimes some complete barrier will be there. Detector is isolated from its risk factor. That is barrier. And second important point is sensitivity calibration. See, if a detector is placed in your building that is 10 years old, or 15 years old, or 8 years old, there is no, that will not work, because its sensitiveness, how sensitive it is to visualize, to feel the smoke, how far, how quick it can react. The sensitiveness is less, then the reaction time will be more. If a normal, pure or a fresh detector we react within 30 seconds or 40 seconds, then the sensitiveness is last, then that will go take 1.5 minutes, like that. So the sensitiveness calibration should be done. So normally, as per the code, once in 5 years you should do the calibration. After the then calibration certificate should be there for all the detectors. Otherwise, that is a older detector. That is detection time may differ from time to time and fire to fire. And the backup battery testing, that is very important. Most of the buildings, the backup battery is not tested at all. In some panels, battery pack is removed. When I asked why the battery pack is removed, they said we have a standby power, sir. We have a general power, normal power supply, and as well as we have a standby power also. Then in that case, why the battery pack is provided there? Nobody is thinking it, nobody is understood it, and no clarification is there. Battery backup, this is backup power, normal power fails, then backup power will be there. Suppose backup power comes through your cable, when the cable is destroyed, it is broken away due to some other factor, then in that case the backup will work. So that is the purpose of backup. That is a third level of defense. So that must be tested actually. Backup battery testing. And the sounded speakers audibility test must be conducted. This decibel meter is available. You have to use the decibel meter. You have to understand it's a 90 decibel or 80 decibel, and so that the decibel level will be differ from place to place. In case of hospital, in case of sleeping places, the decibelity will be more. So like that. So in industry where you have a more sound, then your decibel level should be more. Where the sound is so high, the decibel level cannot be increased. There you have to give a visual indicator or audio indicator like that. So that is the thing we already spoke to you. And visual strobe test, this that I have covered. And connectivity to the panel and fire control center, that is a very important thing. Detector will activate, but the panel will not receive its signal. A panel will receive its signal, but that will not be communicated to the central command. So the connectivity should from the end to the end. So that must be connected. That is not there in many places. So that should be ensured. These are all the key factors. Though you have a detector system, but if anything is missing the list, then your system is not reliable. Reliability should be ensured at all the time. And the panel status verification. Panel may indicate fault detection. That is not recorded at all. When I asked what is a fault system, he said that is there for 3 months, sir. That is not no problem, sir. The panel is working, directors are working like that. So this is the way we understood the panel under the director system like that. So detector panel is a very sensitive item that will communicate to you the healthiness of the circuit, healthiness of the detectors, healthiness of the sounders. So everything is remarked, then that must be attended immediately, that must be recorded immediately. The compliance time should be recorded. So that is not found anywhere. In most of the places I could see that it's not available. And panel status verification and emergency power supply testing should be, there's a testing method is there, how to test the emergency power supply to the panel board, and how to test the emergency power supply to the fire pump. So there are, see, these things are not understood properly. So they must be learned on this, and that must be followed, so that emergency power supply should be connected automatically within 5 seconds when the normal power supply goes off. So like that, the systems are there, that must be ensured. And supervision and evaluation of maintenance, the report, that's very important aspect. Most of the industries, most of the buildings like malls, cinema theaters, and hospitals, I could see very pathetic condition, no supervision at all. When the third party vendor comes, first of all, the third party vendor is not professionally qualified, professionally selected. That is the first thing. And when the things are purchased, that is not professionally procured. Okay, the procurement team is different, and the purchase team is different, and the specification team is different. There is no coordination between them. They are working in vertical, and there is a disconnect between them. That is a thing. So the supervision should be professionally done, and whether the right things are coming, right products are coming, right way that is installed, that must be supervised. First thing. Second thing, evaluation of maintenance. When a extinguisher is maintained, a sprinkler is maintained, when the flow test is conducted for the sprinkler, how it is conducted, where it is conducted, which place that is conducted, for the same place, for the every year that is the same place conducted, what is the fun in conducting those tests? So those things must be understood properly. And the supervision and evaluation of maintenance, and the report. See, whatever the report given by the third party vendor, you don't put in the file, and somebody is not even signing it, the putting in the file without signing. So this is the status. Then you put the file, that's all, put in the file, that's all. That is the level of monitoring, supervision. That's the thing. So it should not be like that. What he has written, what complaints he has written, why really has changed the refills, he has really done the flush out. whether the flow monitor is working or not. So those things must be tested practically, that must be observed visually, and they must be maintained, and the report should speak. When the auditor see the report, then I can very well say what is the level of your maintenance, what is the level of your understanding, what is the level of your readiness or reliability of your equipments. That speaks. The report can speak to the auditor. Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Okay.
Yeah.
Next slide. No. Go back. Yes. Key factors to the firefighting system now coming. The detector and alarm system I have covered. And with regard to the key factors to firefighting system, Rajalakshmi?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How much time you have? Can
Just a
I go
minute,
for
sir.
10 minutes? 10 to 15 minutes I can go?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No issues, sir.
Okay. If a time up, then you tell me, then I will finish accordingly. Okay.
Sure, sir.
Okay. So the key factors to firefighting systems. What are the firefighting systems? That starts with the fire extinguisher, hose reel system, and external hydrant, and internal risers, and sprinkler system. And this, if you have other flooding system, maybe the gas flooding systems, and you may have a spray systems in case of transformers, or foam monitors you may have. Even some places foam sprinklers also there. So there are different firefighting systems. There transformers, we have nitrogen based systems, and there are a lot of firefighting systems are there. Okay. So if the reference to the sprinkler and hydrant, and the fire pump room, the pressure gauges are more vital instruments and equipments. So the pressure gauge is the live indicator of the healthiness of your systems. If in case of a fire extinguisher, whether the gauge goes to the red, then inadequate, that the expellent will not, the extinguishant will not come out through the push of the exponent. So that is a pressure. So pressure gauge must be in a green level in case of a fire extinguisher. In case of a sprinkler system, so what is based on the hydraulic system, what should be the maximum pressure? That should be at the remotest point. So the gauge must be fitted at the remote point so that you can understand the system pressure. Okay. So now the NPCS says you have to design your hydrant and sprinkler system based on your hydraulic calculation only. It is not like NBC in 2016. It was just telling you that at the remotest point, if you have a 3.5 kg, that is enough. Suppose highest floor or the longest place, if you have the longest point of hydrant, so if you have a 3.5 pressure, 3.5 kg pressure, that is quite sufficient as per the NBC 16. Now that was removed. Now the NBCS says depends upon your specific requirement based on your fire risk and floor area and number of hydrants, number of sprinkler heads. So you have to design hydraulically, and you have to keep enough pressure, enough water based on your requirement. So the ultimate responsibility lies with you now. So you cannot say code says like this. The code gives you full freedom, full responsibility. Freedom is always related to your responsibility only. So you have to understand your responsibility. If you do not have the enough expertise on this, then you have to employ expert people, and they have to do this calculation, and they have to decide what amount of fire pump capacity you should have, and what should be the maximum pressure, what should be the minimum pressure. Like that, they have to design accordingly. So number of sprinklers, number of hydrants, number of hard hydrants should be decided based on your actual requirement, risk requirement. So based on that risk requirement, hydraulic calculation will be done, and the water level, water storage level, water flow level, pressure level, all will be decided based on this. So all will be indicated by the pressure gauges. So that is a very important item that you should look into that. And the next is valve open closing condition. So very fantastic, very important point that I want to highlight to you. Valve open. See, suppose the hydrant valve is a pump room to the hydrant valve is closed in the main section, and so the water will not go there. Suppose a pump is tested, while testing the pump and system may be locked for some time because the water will going through the tank itself. So that time, so when you forget to open the valve, then that the system will not supply it by the fire pump. So like that in case. So normally what is happening, what system is there, what are the valves to be open? What are the valves should be kept in open condition? What are the valves should be kept in closed condition? That must be identified, listed out first, number one. Number two, then the valves should be kept in open condition, should be locked by chain system, foolproof system, so that nobody can inadvertently or intentionally close or open the valve, so that the system will not still get affected. That bad intention could not work out. So that is a condition. So the valves should open condition, the valves in closing condition should be kept in open and closed condition and locked in such a way so that nothing will happen by anybody or by fault also. So for example, I will tell you, suppose the diesel valve should be kept open to the diesel tank to the diesel pump engine. In open condition, that must be locked. Okay, where the valve should be closed, so that valve must be closed in unlocked condition. That is a thing. And so verification of locking, and so that should be there. And the water leakage, that is an important point. I could see the many pump houses, the water will be there in the ground level because that water, whenever the pump started, the water leakage, the water sealant will not, the more water leakage will be there. See, water leakage must be there, but in a permitted level. So that's the condition. So water leakage and sealant condition should be checked, and accessibility to the any fire equipment. Accessibility must be there. And approachability, we can access, but we cannot approach. Fire extinguisher is kept to 6 meters height. Then what is it? We can access, but we cannot approach it. We cannot get it. And identifiability of valves, that is another important thing. So sprinkler valve be there, but we cannot reach the sprinkler valve. Even if you could reach, you can access, you can approach, you can reach it. I do not know whether it should be in open condition or closed condition. I do not know what valve it is. It is isolation valve or what type of valve it is, I do not know. So there must be a marking on the valve, each valve that must be marked. The plate should be hanging there, that should involve number. It's an isolation valve. Okay, so that marking should be there. And these will help in case of during a firefighting, number one, and in case of auditing, that will give very, very good aspect on your company. Number three, in case of emergency, fire service people comes, they can understand, they can close it, they can open it as required, like that. And functional efficiency, that is another point, very important point. Functional efficiency of non-return valves. You may have a what is called the external external fire pumps can come, they can push the water through your systems. Fire brigade inlet, that is called a fire brigade inlet. So that has, see, the system is connected to the fire brigade inlet. System will have always pressurized water. So if the non-return valve is not working, the water will be leaking to the outside. So the non-return valve must be tested. So isolation valves and other opening and closing valves always must be tested for its proper efficient functioning and easy functioning. Sometimes I could see when the hydrant, just to see the throw of the hydrant, when we try to putting hoses, then we ask the person to open the valve. They will try like anything, they cannot open it. Then you put a F-rod, by which F-rod only they can open the gate valve. F-rod means what? Fail. That is F-rod. Fail rod. So that is why they fail to open by hand, so that they use the fail rod, the F-rod. They're using it. And so that is a system that many places, periodical oiling, lubricant, and all these things will help the easy operation and proper functioning of the opening of valve. The water should always be kept in good water as far as much possible, so that the valves and system by rusting will be less. And next important point is the fire pump's operational readiness. Fire pump's operational readiness, you have to, there is a testing procedure is there, that you must test the, see, there is a pressure matrix you must put in the pump room, pressure matrix. what pressure the jockey pump should start, at what pressure the jockey pump should stop automatically. That's the first thing. Then the main pump at what pressure that should start, then it can be put off by manual only. And like the standby pump, at what pressure it can start. Like that pressure difference must be there. Accordingly, the pressure switches must be designed, and that must be connected to the fire pumps, and that must work in the sequence manner. That is a pump operationally functional testing, readiness of the pump. And the diesel and water visibility. Most of the places, how much diesel is there, we do not know. Water, level of water, we do not know. So like that, visible level of indicator of water and diesel level should be there. And batteries efficiency, that is not tested. And they said it's automatically recharging. How do you know that it is automatically recharging? They cannot answer. So you should understand how the battery is charged and whether it's really charging or not. What is the mechanism to identify whether it's really charging or not, whether it will be overcharging or not. So like that, there must be a mechanism. You must understand how it is. So, and flow switches calibration, that is very important. If flow switches are not calibrated, then the matrix will not work as per the flow switches. That there will mismatch will be there. And emergency lights should be there. Emergency exit should be there. Emergency lights should be there. Emergency communication should be there. See, many places I say, how do you communicate to the fire spot wala? Then the fellow will tell, I will speak to mobile. When the fire pump started, he cannot speak to the mobile. So there are sound will be there. So something depends upon the size of the pump room, like that. So there must have some emergency communication system should be there, and emergency power supply and smart management alert. That is much more important nowadays. The AI and the IoT is doing a very wonderful work. If water level is going 50 or 60% below, that will automatically triggering alarm to the fire control room. Even in foreign countries, they are connected to the public fire services also, like that. So there is a smart alarm system. When a diesel level goes below, water level goes below, and there is normal power goes off, and when the pump started, all things will be communicated to the control room with a time and duration like this. So this is a smart management information system that one should follow. And fire hoses condition. See, many places fire hoses are put like orphan, and they don't give any care. And so they must be unrolled, and that must be rolled. And when used, that must be dried, and the water should not be there. So change of hoses must be there. Same hose should not be kept at the same place for a year together, so that it will deform its shape. And especially the rubberized hoses that will form as a thick insulation like that, they will sticky with each other. So proper maintenance should be there, and recording should be done. And so rolling, unrolling, rolling of hoses must be done properly, and leakage in the coupling should be tested and verified. So those things are much be taken care. These will help in case of real firefighting. And trained and sufficient persons for the operation. That is quite important, and many places it is missing. That is why more fire deaths are happened. And so trained, sufficient, both are very important to your success in case of emergency. Important aspects of emergency success, so please mind that. And emergency protocol, that is a very important. In case of any fire happened, who should call whom first. Then in case of calling a fire brigade, then who should initiate it, who should call it actually. And so what are all different departments will be there, how to inform so the protocol should be the communication protocol, hierarchy, and who should be the incident command. So all these things that comes under the protocol system. And so you have emergency management system, you have emergency manual, emergency response system. All things are there, but they're not under practice. That's all formed 2 years before. That is all remaining. The manuals are not updated, men are not practiced, and even the contract numbers are changed. That person itself is a retired or he was transferred. So that is a condition many places. So emergency protocol and practice with the current information, and the provisions for firefighting. What are the resources available within your factory? You cannot have all the resources in your factory. That is not advisable. And so whatever the resources that you can have, that you should have, two items are there. What you should have, what you can have. So the two things you must consider and have it. And what things must be hired from outside, from a third party contract or from the government services. That is the provisions. That emergency provisions must be identified. What are the sources must be with you, shall be obtained from others, like that. Next slide, please. So fire incidents are happening due to different causes, various causes, but the basic cause is that I am giving. You can see in the thing. See, if it's given in a industry also, you can see the unsafe act is due to unsafe condition. But the unsafe condition is also due to unsafe act of a particular responsible person. Okay, like that, the root cause is the fire happened. The root cause is I am giving here the foolishness. That is, they do not know whether it can catch immediately or it can spread very fastly, whether it can give toxic gases. And so they are ignorant. They do not know how to do it. They do not have SOP. They don't have a proper engineering guidelines. They do it. They do on their own way. There is no supervision. This all referring the incidents happened. It is the management and the people are not very stubborn, very curious, are very not well planned for preventing the fire. That is a foolishness and ignorance and indifference. So they do not know what to do in case of emergency. I do not know what to do. I do not know what I do not know. I do not know what I should know. So this is our status, ignorance. So how we can do in case of emergency? The emergency, the success of your emergency depends purely on what you should know, what you should not do, what you should do, what you should not do. So like that. So when you do the right thing, then okay, fine. When you do the wrong thing, that problem becomes more serious problem. So the ignorance is not a good thing in case of fire safety, and indifference. And sir, I am having fire extinguisher and fire systems for the past 15 years. So far, no incident happened. It is a waste. What is the fun in having all these systems? Lot of maintenance work is there, the fund is there, like that. So this, some things people think indifferently like this. And somebody think, no, sir, we could see, it's not necessary, sir. The court says, but we cannot afford to pay for this. So I know the fire officer, I can see that no problem. So I got a fire order, sir. I got a fire license. So no problem, sir. Like that. So fire order and fire license is not going to fight the fire. And this is only a tool to examine you at the time of examination. And that is a living tool. When you are not prepared for emergency, that tool, dead tool, it becomes a dead tool. So that's a difference. And regardless, that is without any regard and reluctance. And so these are all the, I can see, I will let us see, I know the ministers, so like that, no problem, I have insurance. I know, so I will see the court of law. So something like that. There is a mindset like that. And enmity and enforcement, this is the intentional fire. There's a due to some bad intentions, this a fire happens. So these are all the causes normally, the fire basic causes I am telling. Other causes we have already discussed a lot, but these things and think that we should overcome. And basically the human being can alter their lives by altering their attitude. So in fire safety we are very low because we have a very low attitude. That is my content. So we have a very low fire safety, more fire deaths, more fire incidents, because our attitude on fire safety, our efforts on fire safety, our performance managed on fire safety, establishment and ensuring fire safety is very, very low because we have a low attitude. So if you change your attitude, you can change the fire safety altitude. I am not specifying anybody. I am generally speaking. Next slide, please. Fine. So this slide, I think I can finish this class. So safety, I'll ask you whose responsibility? It is the manager responsibility, or the lowest man responsibility, or the fire service responsibility? Safety is whose responsibility? You cannot answer, I know. So I have to answer this. It is a very unfortunate position in taking a class in this virtual media. Okay, anyhow, so it's the last slide. Just I should finish it immediately. So responsibility, see, that is everybody's responsibility, because if even a home, it is everybody's responsibility. Like that in organization, everybody's responsibility. The ratio of responsibility may differ from person to person, position to position. That is the difference. But accountability is different from responsibility. Responsibility is for all, but accountability rests to the top management. They are accountable for any fire death or fire mishap. Okay, that you must understand very well. Fire officer may have the responsibility. The safety manager may have the responsibility. He is accountable for promoting the safety, giving the correct strategy, but procuring, getting more infrastructure, getting management support, that is not not available, then is not accountable to that. So the responsibility lies with all, but accountability differs from person to person based on their efforts, based on their vision, based on their activities. So that's the thing. And fire safety, 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 I was informed once, I remember that what is safety? Safety is what you do when nobody is watching you. That is safety. When nobody is watching you, what you do on your own? Your conscience is watching you, so you know what you are doing, even though nobody is watching. Okay, so you cannot say nobody is watching, you are watching yourself. So in this case, safety is what you do when nobody is watching. Fire safety is like that only. So but unfortunately, I should say, even I may be wrong to say this, fire safety is a cultural defect in India. In India, fire safety is a cultural defect, because see, we purchase 4 crores amount of rupees spent, we purchase a house in an apartment, but we fail to understand, we fail to verify what type of safety is there, what fire safety is there, whether they got the fire certificate, NOC, where they complied with the fire safety requirements. So this is a very good apartment. We have LPG connections. Okay, good, very good. But what type of safety they have adopted in connecting the LPG pipeline to you? And see, we have the culture of living in high-rise building, but we fail to have the culture of living in high-rise building. We unfortunately, we fail to have the culture of living in high-rise building. We adopt more technology, modernization in production management. We want to have more production. We want to have more profit, but we fail to have a more amount of or equal amount of safety to your occupants, safety to the environment, and safety to the public. So that's the thing in most of the cases. So the safety culture should be changed. The fire safety must be taught from the school curriculum, and they must awareness building should be the part and parcel of your manufacturing process, your organization. Even that should start from, even at the China and Japan, the children are taught safety systems, how to cross the road, how to speak to the elders, how to sit, how to sleep, how to eat. All these things are taught from the school children type. But unfortunately, we don't have such culture. So fire safety is a cultural defect. The defect must be rectified. It can be rectified only when you have the attitude, right attitude, determination, and devotion to fire safety. Otherwise, the culture will be a defective culture only, I should say. So the தமிழ்ல ஒன்று சொல்லுவாங்க, உங்கள்கிட்ட எதை கொடுக்க முடியாது மற்றவங்களுக்கு, உங்களால அதை கொடுக்கவே முடியாது மற்றவங்களுக்கு, எது எது இல்லையோ அதை கொடுக்க முடியாதுன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. அன்பு இல்லைன்னா அன்பை நீங்க கொடுக்கவே முடியாது. ஸோ டாப் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட்ல சேஃப்டி இல்லைன்னா கீழே ஆளுங்களுக்கு சேஃப்டி கொடுக்கவே முடியாது. ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் த வேக்யூம், ஒரு கல்ச்சுரல் வேக்யூம் இங்க நம்ம இதுல இருக்குது. அது வந்து மாறணும்ன்றது தான் என்னுடைய விஷ். அண்ட் செகண்ட் பாயிண்ட் வந்து ignorance and innocence is not a bliss, that I already discussed. Ignorance is a bliss in case of குழந்தைங்க அது ஒன்றும் தெரியாதுங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்றது கரெக்ட். பட் ஃபயர்ல அது வந்து சொல்லவே முடியாது. ஒரு விஷயம் சொல்லட்டோமா உங்களுக்கு? ஐ வில் டேக் ஒன்லி 2 minutes with your permission. அதாவது 3 things are there. Fire is the natural justice. It is not a man-made justice. Man-made justice will differ court to court. டிவிஷனல் கோர்ட்ல தோத்தது ஹைகோர்ட்ல ஜெயிக்கும், ஹைகோர்ட்ல ஜெயிச்சது சுப்ரீம் கோர்ட்ல தோத்துடும். திஸ் இஸ் மேன்மேட் ஜஸ்டிஸ். ஜஸ்டிஸ் டிபெண்ட்ஸ் அப்பான் தி எவிடன்சஸ். ஜஸ்டிஸ் டிபெண்ட்ஸ் அப்பான் யுவர் எபிலிட்டி டு ஆர்கியூ. ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் அ மேன்மேட் ஜஸ்டிஸ். பட் ஃபயர் இஸ் அ நேச்சுரல் ஜஸ்டிஸ். இப்போ ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் ஒரு விஷயம் சொல்றேன் உங்களுக்கு வந்து, இப்போ ஆல் ஆர் ஈக்குவல், ஆல் ஆர் கிங் இன் அ டெமோக்ராட்டிக் கண்ட்ரி. டு யூ அக்ரி வித் தட்? If all are king in a democratic country, who will become the soldier? Who will become the minister? Who will be the warrior? Who will be the carpenter? So all cannot be a key. It's only ideal thing. At the concept, ideal concept. Another example I will give you. All are equal before law. Is it really true? Is it really practicable? It is also not practicable. Show your face, I will tell the rule. So that's the thing. So the judgment differs court to court. So that all are equal before law is also not 100% practicable. Then what is 100% practicable? Only fire. Fire will justify its role, justify its courts. In its courts, nobody bothers. He do not bother about anybody, whether it is a child, whether it is a king, whether it is a poor, beggar, educated, qualified, doctor hold, nothing. It's not bother anybody. It will kill its own way. It will run its own way. That is the natural justice. So ignorance and bliss. Ignorance is not a bliss, and innocence is not a bliss in case of fire. So we must be well prepared for this, and it is a very dangerous. It is very quietful. Without fire, we cannot live. Within fire, also we cannot live. So that is a thing that we must understand from this. And safety by choice, not by chance. See, I honestly, you think yourself, you may be living in a apartment, or you may be working in a very good organization. How is your organization? How safe it is? How many buildings are safe in Tamil Nadu? How many buildings are safe in India? By choice, by chance. So if I have a building with 15 years, there is no fire. It may be by chance, not by choice. Okay, so that is the way we live. We are not sure whether our firefighting systems are correct, whether our fire systems are adequate, whether our people are building capacity is okay, fine, good. They can handle, they can able to meet any uneven situations. So like that. So the safety should come by choice, not by chance. Please mind that. So keep it in mind. This is a message that I am passing to you. And please mind that you same thing to your neighbors, your comrades, your fellow people, so that they can understand this. And last thing that I want to discuss with you is sustainability versus resilience. Sustainability of your business, that is fine. Sustainability of profit, sustainability of your production, sustainability of opening branch in other foreign nations, that's all sustaining your economic ability, production capability, and so management capability. Everything is that is called sustaining your ability in the market. So that is your management. But resilience is something different. Resilience is in case of untoward accidents, incidents happen at your place, how fast you can reach your normalcy. That is resilience capacity. So you must be very resilient. Sustainability is must, that is there, but the sustainability will be lost. Your resilience will not be there. Your fame will be lost by a fire. Your resources will go by a fire. So I will tell you the last thing. The death is not a tragedy. Death is not a tragedy at all, because that is the end part of you. That is when your birth started, your death also started simultaneously. When you are living, you are dying. So that is a natural process of our living. So death is not a tragedy, but when your resources, when your relatives, when your good ones losing their life, their potentials in front of your eyes, then that is really a tragedy one. So when you lose your resources, when you lose your property, process, environment, and your kith and kin by your own eyes with helpless status mood, then that is a real tragedy. That can be avoided when you keep up your resilience, protection level, prevention level, and your reaction level. So with this, I conclude this class. Thank you for all your wonderful hearing. So if any questions, you can ask.
Any questions? Anybody is having, please can ask.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot. Only one question, sir.
Please.
Like foreign countries, you are given some input that in foreign countries, a lot of enforcement through digital things. Is there any such possibility in India, sir? As you said, some NPCLS has changed and some sort of enforcement from the authorities. That is the reason. Is there any possibility in India, sir?
You mean a spot management system, the firefighting? That's what you mean?
Building, that's some building management systems are available in case of any pressure drop, any oil drop, diesel drop.
Yeah,
That
correct,
time
right.
the fire safety one can collect some sort of input. Based on that, they will enforce the things in foreign countries.
Right.
So that's the reason, sir.
Who is asking this?
Sir, this is Kallai Biran, sir.
Oh, right. How are you, sir?
Please, sir, please. Oh, fine, sir. Fine, sir.
Okay, fine.
Thank you.
So,
Nice presentation.
okay, the smart management system. I was in DLF. I introduced this. I established this in DLF. They have a very good stubborn and continuous system. Can I speak?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir,
Others,
yes,
please
sir.
mute
Audible,
yourself.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have established a smart management system with our fire control. See, in DLF we have 16 blocks are there, and the 16 blocks are connected to the central monitoring system. And any building, if the water level or diesel level goes, that will come that will be connected to the central monitoring system with a block number, with a tank number, like that. So, and the jockey pump stand. See, in one example, I will tell you. The jockey pump was frequently started and it was running more than 300 hours per 15 days, 20 days, like that. Then we come to the conclusion there is a leakage there. So like that we identified and we have closed the leaking. Like that, it is the effect of a good monitoring system. And diesel level goes on and battery level goes on. We have a system, and the DLF is conducting a safety award system, fire safety award system. And so we have the competition system like this. We entire places of DLF building, we have a smart management system. I myself done this, and I have witnessed this there.
Thanks, sir. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Sendil Kumar Yam, please.
Sir, very good evening and thanks for your detailed presentation. In the entire presentation, you are talking about fire protection system, which is proactive in nature. I am part of a passenger car manufacturing company, and I am the in charge for managing tank farm. In our tank farm, there are 2 tanks, each capacity of 38 KL, and 2 diesel tank and 2 petrol tanks. What is missing here is the gas detection system. I want to know which system talks in detail about this monitoring and preventing the fire in tank farm area. Is there any system or any statutory regulations is available, so that we want to understand, sir?
Sir, thank you for your question, but I need more clarity from your question. The tanks are underground.
Sir, it is not like buried under the ground, sir. It is over the ground.
Okay. So in this ground level, one is diesel, another one is petrol, isn't it?
Sir, there are two gasoline. I mean, 2 petrol and 2 diesel, and all 4 are having 38,000 liters, 38 KL.
Okay. So, but it is an open area, no? It's an open area level. Open area.
It's completely open area. It is out of the assembly shop.
Okay. So in this case, we have to do fire protection as per the OAS requirements number 1. For predictive management. Can I speak now? Somebody is talking. I don't know. Okay. See, the predictive management said we can have in case of leakage, it's a leak detector system also available nowadays. Leakage system, the gas leak detects. LPG leak detector is there, like that. Any liquid or flammable liquids are leaking, that also can be detected. Leak detection systems are there, and filling the brim level, that preventive system are there. Systems are there, sir. We have to employ it. I can give the person's name also after that. Now readily I don't have. I will give the number also for contracting persons like this.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Arun Kanan, please unmute and ask.
Sir, very good evening, sir. Thanks for the session. It was wonderful. I have 2 questions to get clarified from you. So one is regarding to the hospital, insisting about some fire requirements for the hospital, that from you. And the second one is FM Global says that after jockey pump starts, the diesel pump can start next to the jockey pump, and the third one is the electric. Is there any regulations like that, sir? FM Global says.
Okay, thank you for your kind words. See, no code says that the pump should start, electric pump should start first and the diesel pump should start second. Not like that. And why that FM Global, I think so. I'm not directly known to that. But the idea is, see, when the jockey pump is insufficient to supply water, then the main pump should start. If it is a case of diesel pump, then provided diesel is enough diesel you kept, then that case that will continuously working. That is the first reason why they want a diesel pump start first, because that suppose the electrical pump is running, electrical, there's a failure. If the secondary supply is also failure, then the interruption will be there. So meantime, the fire may may not be controlled adequately. So that is case the FM Global is adopting such standard. I think so. The diesel pump can be started immediately. Sufficiently, if required, the electrical pump can also add it. There is no sequence that only electrical pump should start first and the diesel pump second. Not like that. You can have any pump started, but the differential system should be there. If the diesel pump is inadequate, incapable of supplying enough water, then that pump should start. That's the thing.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thanks for your clarification. And for the hospitals, is there any special protection to be carried out for fire? You can also show some glimpse on that, sir.
Hospital is a very generic name, but hospital there are different types of hazard. What specifically you have to specify the hazard, and see. I already told you the NBCS 226. Do you have the copy? No. Arun Kannan, do you have the copy?
Sir, I don't have that copy right now, sir.
Okay, no problem. I will share this copy to Murali or Veeraraghavan. You can anybody wants, you can have it. Very fantastic specifications on fire detection and suppression systems are given for hospitals and different types of industries, different types of specific fire hazards like UPS system and the ventilation system or a generator system like that. So they have the STP. There are different hazards they are covering, and they are giving a specific hazard, specific direction, and fire protection system. You can refer to that.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Fine. Thank you. Maybe rest of the people, if you have any questions, please come into our TNSPWA group. We can have further discussions. Sir is also part of our member, and he's also available in the group. And sir, just to before we conclude and close the session, I just want to give a formal thanks to Namashwayan sir for the wonderful session. There are multiple takeaways people would have definitely taken, and maybe a very simplest thing like prevention, detection, protection, emergency response, multiple things. What should I do in prevention? So these kind of very fundamental things, you just work on the fuel and the heat, try to separate both. That is the prevention. Only thing that you can do as a part of prevention was a very simplistic element that you mentioned about. And maybe even some of our members here, they might have seen some of these smoke detectors with the orange cap and the yellow cap still on. Many people still feel that it is a decorative or the color or a distinct thing to be immediately visible. So these are all very fundamental things. Even a safety professional themselves may be not fully aware. And you also mentioned a lot many interventions, and you also mentioned about what you have done in DLF by deploying the AI and the IoT technology enablement, which helps in preventing the fire in the first instance. And quite elaborate coverage, sir. You told about the NBCS 2026 and what is the difference between NBC 2016 and this one. And quite elaborate. I had seen a very small amount into that. And one very interesting thing I noted, maybe many of the fire team members and even the safety members, they are very fond of the F key, right? Wherever the industry has a fire hydrant, F key is a normal tool like a screwdriver or a tester for electrician kind. And you clearly mentioned that F key is actually a failed key. When everything else failed, then only the F key should be put into use. Very detailed explanation that was. And just before concluding, sir, very thank you very much for quite an elaborate session that you have given to us. And you also mentioned about ignorance and innocence is not a bliss, right? And many of us are qualified safety team members, and some people are working directly in the fire departments as well within the different industries. Ignorance, you very clearly explained. If I do not know what I did not know, then it is a disaster, right? If I know that I do not know something, then that is at least the first step that you have taken. Maybe this entire last more than 1.5 hours of your input, at least some of us have picked up that I came to know that I do not know. At least the first step is taken by most of us. That's what I also felt when you spoke a little bit on the NBCS, which is a little newer thing for us. So at least I know that I do not know many things in NBCS. So that is the first positive step I can say, just giving us a tribute to whatever you contributed for the entire community here. And team, it is available for us to continue this journey. So this is not the end of this entire session. So we can have further sessions if at all any industry people would like to have Mr. Navashivayam to handle any kind of sessions. So you can connect through our office members, office bearers, so that we can make some arrangements if at all you would be interested to look for. So thank you, Namashivan sir. Thank you very much once again, and thank you to all the members, despite your weekend pressures and other things building up. You people stay put. More than 80 people here, and many people would have joined in the online YouTube live sessions. So thank you, one and all. Have a nice time. Good night to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
sir.
Murali, for your wonderful summing up. Thank you very much. And I request you and Mr. Raghavan is that we can have one person-to-person physical interaction. That will be nice. And so it's so good. It's so good that I'm very happy to be a part of you. Really,
Sure.
I like this, and I want to do like this, like that. But even then, I request you to have one more physical interaction class. Thank you.
Sure. The point noted, sir. We'll take it up. Right. Thank you all. Thank you, sir. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Thank
madam.
you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam, for
Thank you,
giving this
thank you.
good opportunity.
Thank you,
Thanks,
sir.
sir.
Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you.
Thank you.